Hello again and welcome to the second in the series of my 4 seasonal quilts for Project Linus. This one is called Summer Vacation and I'll show you clips of that, how I made it and the process I went through. Just want to share, I washed it and I put it in the tumble dryer. We have loads of rain at the moment, so it went into the tumble dryer and I put it on hot and it shrunk. This is lovely and soft. It still comes out at 36, so I lost 3 inches. It was 39 inches square, so it's 36 inches now, but it is lovely. It's all washed and ready to go. So the following video clips will show you how I made that. So I haven't gone into great detail with the making of this quilt because it's the same design as the spring break quilt that I made last week. So if you want further details, either look back at that or you can go to my home page and then click on to my community link, and all the details of the bits of fabric that you'll need and the blocks and everything else you need will be on that page. It's all free of charge, so if you want that, that's there for you. Okay, let's have a look and see how I made this quilt. Well, last week I completed the spring break quilt and it looked like this. These are all the details, so if you want to follow along and make this quilt, all the details are there. Well, I set out all of the fabric last night, ready for this morning, and the yellow, the white and the green are all the same that I used in the spring break quilt. So in my garden, red features strongly in the summer, and so I've gone to the reds for this. And these 3 are the same fabric line. So we have a glowing red and blue flower in the centre, and then we have an orange centre to the star. Still the same yellow points on the star as in the spring quilt. So everything's ready. And I'm just going to turn these 4 3/4 inch squares into 3 inch half square triangles, and I'll do that next. So I've prepared all my half square triangles. And I must admit it's looking very tropical, very heat of summer. Step 1 is to complete a variable star. So it's already looking really rich, bright, bold colours. So I'll show you what step 2 and 3 are. So this is step 2 and step 3. So there are 4 pieces of step 2. 2 we add to the star that we've already made, and then the other 2 we put a 4 patch on each end and then add that. So I'll show you those as I go. So I've made 4 sets of these 2 by 2 blocks. So you've got a red arrowhead on the top block and a blue arrowhead on the bottom block. And the next task is to add these little red pieces on each side of the red floral background. So the green are forming arrowheads now at the top, and we've got this lovely blue in the corner. So there should be 4 sets of those, and I'll do that next. So there are 2 sides, and there's a bottom and a top. So I just need to make the 4 cornerstones. Now this red and green is beginning to look a lot like Christmas. I think it's because of holly and berries. Anyway, I'm going to persevere. At the moment I still think of it as being summer, high summer, because we've got this Swiss cheese plant or monstera, and we've got hibiscus, and we've got paradise birds. I mean, I think this looks a little bit like cherry blossom. Anyway, let's continue. Nothing's ever set in stone. So there we have the top and the bottom with the little 4 patch on each corner. So I'll sew those together and then we'll have a look at the next step. Now I've just visited my local garden centre and everything is trimmed up for Christmas, and so I think the green and the reds are making me think of Christmas because of what's going on around me. However, if this was in the middle of the summer, I wouldn't be thinking Christmas, I don't think. Or then again, I might. Anyway, it doesn't really matter what's in a name. I'm going to add now the green and the white, and we'll see how that looks. So steps 4 and 5 are the same colours as in the spring break quilt, and so I need to make 4 of these patches, and then I'll add 4 cornerstones on each side of 2 of them, and we'll have a look and see what that looks like. And there we are. I've put the bottom and the top band on in the white and the yellow, and the two side ones are ready. I've just got to put on these little cornerstones. So there were 4 block, 3 of the yellow and 1 of the white. So I'll put those together, and then I've just got to put a 4 3/4 inch border all the way around in the yellow plaid. So, almost done now. Well, it's been a funny old week. I haven't been able to get into the sewing room as often as I would have liked. But while I have been in there, I've managed to get quite a few things done. I've just completed piecing the back of the summer vacation quilt. So this is all 100% cotton, and I pieced the batting, and that's already adhered to the top. And so now it's just a matter of making a sandwich and quilting it. So hopefully I'll get that finished today, and I'll show you what that looks like. Oh, I've just remembered I want to sew this Project Linus label to the back. That will be covered in the quilting as well, so it's not as easy to remove if it falls into the wrong hands. Well, that seems secure enough, and everything is beautifully quilted, so I'll show you the front. And I am calling this summer vacation. I do think it looks like high summer, so it's exactly the same design as spring break. These Sarah Payne fabrics in the centre are really rich, and I think they look beautiful. So I think that might make a nice gift for somebody. So Kim gave me 5 labels the last time I was there, so I've used 3, so I have 2 more, and the next one is going to be Winter Blues, and I'll show you the fabric I've selected for that. Well, I have a small amount of this beautiful children's fabric. Got a soft blue background, and then we've got all of these winter animals or cold region animals featured on that, and then in contrast there's some white with black and winter looking trees. And then I thought I would bring in some of this stone or torque just to bring that connection across. I have quite a lot of this blue polka dot, some of the white and some of the yellow. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to have enough of this yellow to create the border and the background for the 4th quilt, which is a shame because I would have liked them all to have had the same identity, although the image in the centre will be the same. Okay, so I'm going to do this one next. Well, I've updated my quilting journal, so I've added Summer Vacation, the 25th quilt that I've made this year so far, and I'm mentioning that it's a series of 4. This is the second one, one to represent each season. So I use pieced backing, I use pieced batting, and these are the colours that I've used and the date that it was completed, and I'm just about to upload it now. And I wrote the title Ready for Winter Blues. So again, it will be the same design, although I've decided now that I'm not going to go with the yellow border because there won't be enough for all 4, so I'm going to change this one. So Winter Blues will be blues and greys. And my monthly update, so I've coloured in Design Kaleidoscope Quilt. I'll show you that. I've called it Magic Lantern. To make the Project Linus quilt, which I've done Summer Vacation, and I'm going to make some rosebud blocks for the Magic Lantern quilt, and I'll show you those. And to make another Project Linus quilt, and that one's called Winter Blues. And then I've added a little sunflower here because that's the name of the music that I'm adding to my videos. I really like the sound of it. I think it's nice and relaxing, and that's the decibels that I'm recording it on. I'm trying to improve the quality of my videos, so if you've got any more tips, I'd be grateful to hear them. And this is my Magic Lantern quilt. So at the moment it's 65.5 inches square, but I think I'm going to make it bigger. I'm going to put a border on or take the pail out so that floats. So the idea behind this was if you ever had one of those little tubes that you held to your eye and turned up to the light, there were little glass beads inside and they would form patterns. Well, this is like a quadrant from a pattern of one of those. So that's what I'm going to do, but I'm going to do it in blocks because I can't really take on a big project at the moment. So I'll share that with you as I go. And now I'm in the process of working out the blocks and how many I'll need of each different type. I quite like the idea of making this a scrappy sort of quilt. Lots of different greens. I've got a few different greens that I want to use and different colours. So although I'm going to work on the rosebuds, there might be different colours. Perhaps the red might be different shades of red. We'll work that out as we go along, but I'll share that with you. So that's it. That's the end of another week. Next week I'm going to be starting on the new Project Linus quilt, Winter Blues. Like I say, it's going to be blues and greys. I'm not using the yellow. I'm going to make the blocks in the Magic Lantern quilt, and I'm going to keep myself nice and warm in my homemade crocheted blanket jacket cardigan, because I am carrying a little bit of a cold, as we all are at this time of year. So look after yourselves, keep yourselves safe, keep yourselves warm, and I'll see you again next week. Take care. Thanks for watching. Bye.